This is it, people. This is what you've been waiting for. This is Everyday Celebrity Podcast. The podcast for everyday people with everyday problems, trying to find everyday solutions to accomplish everyday goals. Let's start the show. You. Welcome to another episode of Everyday Celebrity Podcast. This is Jordan Owandi, number one host in the Bay Area, the number one podcast in the Bay Area. Today is very special. We have someone that someone that does a profession that I've always wanted to talk to. She is a police officer with the OPD. Oh, San Francisco. San Francisco Police Department? Mm-hmm. Okay, same fucking thing to me. So we're going to talk about a whole lot of shit. Her being a black woman in the police force, what she goes through on a day-to-day basis, how she became a police officer, and all of the bad shit that police officers do. So, introducing my guest, Gayla. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Now, how long have you been a police officer?
Approximately 12 years.
You don't have to say approximately like we own a walkie-talkie and shit.
You know what?
So, for 12 years... Mm-hmm. So, were you always a San Francisco cop?
Yes, I've always been a San Francisco cop.
Now, you, how was it? How did you become a police officer? Like, what made you want to be a police officer?
I'm actually second generation, so that means that my mom was one of the first black women to come into the San Francisco Police Department. And then my dad also worked for San Francisco Police Department as well. At that time, I didn't have a desire to actually become a police officer, and they were hiring, and I just up and applied one day and went through the whole entire hiring process and made that my career choice 12 years ago. So here I am today.
What's the hiring process like?
The hiring process is lengthy, right? It usually takes about 9 months to a year to complete the entire process. You have to take like a written test, a physical exam, an oral interview, and then you have to go through an extensive background process where they interview your neighbors, your family members, your boyfriend.
Your neighbors?
Yes. Your neighbors, your people that you've been in past relationships with.
Wait.
A lot of your friends.
They interview ex like boyfriends and stuff?
Yes.
How do they find that out?
Oh, you have to disclose that.
You got to tell them who you dated in the past?
Well, if they were like serious, long lasting relationships, absolutely.
Why is that a criteria?
I think they want to see who you're tied to primarily. And you're a judge of character, right? If you've dated some people that have been involved in criminal activity, they want to know that firsthand.
What if you dated someone who, like, I don't know, has like 6 baby mamas?
Well, 6 baby mamas, that's different. I mean, that's just a choice, right?
And what if they interviewed one of the guys and they'd be like, nah, I don't fuck with her?
That wouldn't happen. Okay. Hopefully you wouldn't put him down if it wasn't serious. But anyway, so they would interview, your family members, your neighbors, your friends, and things like that, and try to judge you as a person and your characteristics, and then make a decision from there.
So the first part of the hiring process is a written test?
Yes.
And then it's a physical test?
Yes.
What's the physical test like?
A series of push-ups, sit-ups, jumping over a 6-foot wall, and then an obstacle course.
How many times did you have to take it?
Once.
You passed it the first time?
Yes.
So after that, then that's when the background shit goes?
That's when you have an oral interview. So you have a panel interview where they ask you about 5 to 6 questions. And
give me some questions they ask.
They'll ask you, like, why do you want to become a police officer? They will ask you,
basically everyone lies and shit. I want to serve the community.
Well, no.
When they're lying, they just want some power.
No, that is not what they want.
That's
they ask direct questions, and different people have different answers.
What was your answer?
I don't think that was one of my questions.
So what was some of the questions they asked you?
That was 12 years ago. I don't remember. Like, they were like scenario-based questions. I don't know. Like, what are your qualities and things like that?
Was a scenario, was one of the questions is, if you saw a police officer doing something he wasn't supposed to do, would you speak up?
Yes.
That
absolutely.
was a scenario?
That was an ethics scenario. Absolutely.
What'd you say?
That I would have to speak up. It's ethical.
Okay, well, we all know cops don't fucking speak up when they see other cops do bad shit.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. You're absolutely right.
Okay. So you passed everything, and then you went to what, training, boot camp or whatever it's called?
Yes, their basic academy for 8 months.
And how was that?
That was good. You know, a lot of running, a lot of push-ups, a lot of studying.
Where is that held?
That's in Diamond Heights in San Francisco.
And you have to like stay there?
No, it's not a living academy. You just show up Monday through Friday.
And then you have to pass every test in order to stay in?
Yes.
So
and you're paid throughout the academy.
Let's say you fail like one written test, they kick you out?
No, you get 2 tries per test.
Mm. And what are some of the shit that do you basically have to learn the whole law?
Not all the laws, but you do have to be very knowledgeable regarding like the penal codes and the policies and procedures of the department. Yes.
Okay, so you did. So what was it like? Is it basically like a high school?
No, I would say.
You got your popular cops here, and then you got your little slutty cops over here.
Did you say slutty?
Yeah, you know them cops be fucking everybody.
No, no.
There ain't no fucking in the boot camp?
No.
I don't believe that.
So you do have, it's kind of like college, right? It takes you back to your college days where you're doing a lot of studying during the academy and then after hours. You wild. You are so wild.
What's going on after hours?
You're studying.
Oh, so motherfuckers ain't going out partying like, oh shit, I'm stressed. Let's go to the bar.
No, not during the academy. Maybe after, but not during.
So the academy is 6 months.
8 months.
8 months.
Mm-hmm.
And then after 8 months, you graduate, you get your badge and all that and your gun.
Yes, you get your badge, you get your gun, and you go out to field training.
They just throw you out there like that?
Yeah, but you're with a training officer for about 4 months.
So who was your training officer?
I had 3 training officers.
Were you
2
hard to get
females and
along
1
with
male.
or something? Why you get bounced around?
No, each recruit gets 3 training officers.
To teach you like different shit?
Yes. Yes, because different people have different working styles. Different people like to do different things throughout the day. Mm-hmm. So it gives you that flexibility to have 3 different training officers.
Okay, so give me, which one was your best training officer?
I would say my second phase, and he passed away. So he was good though. I think he had like a heart condition or something.
Okay. And who was your worst?
I didn't really have a worst. I think the 2 females, they really taught me a lot. It was good. It was a good experience. It was things that I had never experienced before growing up in San Francisco. So
have you ever been on like a high speed chase?
No high speeds. No, we're not really allowed to chase people in the city.
In San Francisco?
Not like that. It has to be, because there's a lot of tourists, a lot of traffic, a lot of people riding bikes and pedestrians and stuff like that. So no. So
these female cops that were training you, what was some of the shit they were teaching you?
Just how to like stand your ground, right? How to project your voice, how to demand control, just by your verbal judo, and not always going hands on.
Were these white women?
Yes.
Okay. Where were they from?
That's a good question.
Kentucky or some shit. And then they're putting the minority, don't even understand how minorities are.
That I do not know. I don't know where they were specifically from. I do not know that. I was, like I said, that was 12 years ago. You're working on my mental. Old age is kicking in.
Are they still around? Do you still talk to them?
Yes.
They're still your friends?
Yes.
Are they still like in the field and shit?
Yes.
Has any of them ever shot anybody?
No. Not that I know of, no.
Have you ever shot anybody?
No.
Have you ever pointed your gun at anybody?
Yes, absolutely.
You pointed your gun at someone to shoot them or just to what?
What do you mean to shoot them? Like
you took your gun out for what reason?
Because they were posing as a threat, so I had to take my gun out.
What kind of threat? What, did they have a gun?
No, the lady had 2 butcher knives and she told me she was going to kill me, so.
Was she walking up to you?
Yes.
You didn't have a taser?
No, we don't have tasers in the city.
San Francisco cops don't have tasers?
Nope.
Why?
I don't know. I think that's up for discussion with like the board of supervisors and things like that.
Well, every fucking cop has tasers.
Not in San Francisco. Only in other cities and counties.
So, let's see. So, where are you originally from?
San Francisco.
San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
And you say your parents were cops. What did they do? Were they like regular cops or like detectives or something?
No, they were regular. My mom was, and then my dad like manned the station. So
they retired.
Yes.
Are you the only child?
I am not. I'm the youngest, but I'm not the only child.
How many siblings do you have?
I have an older brother and two older sisters.
What do they do?
They all have their own individual professions. One is retired. One works at AT&T.
But none of them are cops?
No.
Mm. And why did you say you wanted to do, why you?
I don't know. I just think it was an opportunity that it presented itself. They were hiring. I was interested.
What were you doing before?
I was working in banking and finance.
As a what? Like an accountant or something?
As a loan officer.
And then you quit that and be like, I'm about to be a cop. I'm going to quit.
Yes, basically.
What did your boss say? Good luck.
Well, I worked at the police credit union, so they kind of understood the transition.
So they like, so you had a little favoritism?
No favoritism. Why would I have favoritism?
Because you know all the cops, so they're like, oh, push her through in front of these motherfuckers.
No, not at all.
Okay, so you grew up in San Francisco. What part of San Francisco?
Excelsior.
Is that a good part or a bad part?
I think it's a decent part. I mean, it's very diverse over there. It's kind of like by Mission in Geneva.
Did you go to college?
I only went to City College, yes.
What did you study in college?
Criminal justice.
So you went to college.
Mm-hmm.
Did you finish at City College or you just went there for a couple of years?
Yeah, I just went there for a couple of years.
All right, so you finished City College, you're working in a bank, and then you...
I finished City College, had a baby, worked at a bank, and then transitioned to the police department, if you really want to keep chronological.
Did you have a baby with a police officer?
No. Who does that?
Shit, I don't know. So is your baby daddy still involved with the child?
Absolutely.
Okay, so you guys are on good terms?
Yes, absolutely.
Why'd you guys break up?
You know what? I think it was just because we were young. I really don't have an answer for that. We were together for like 5 years, and I think we just grew apart at that time.
Do you ever abuse your power and like look him up? I wonder what this nigga's doing.
No, we have a good relationship. There's nothing to look up regarding.
Do you ever like, I don't know, when you see him pull him over?
No, why would I pull him over?
I don't know.
I know everything about him. Why would I pull him over?
So you, all right. So the cop. All right. So you graduated. You got your badge and your gun. Mm-hmm. You were riding around with these 3 people. Mm-hmm. For how many? 6 months?
4 months.
4
total.
months.
Yes.
And then when it was time for you to go on your own, they just put you in the car by yourself?
No, I was with other veteran officers.
Okay. And how was that like?
That was good. I mean, it was a new experience all the way around, right? I mean, when you start a new career and you're on your new journey, it's very like different. Every day is different when you're out there patrolling. So,
were you ever scared for your life?
There's been a couple times, yes. The knife incident, I was pretty scared. I mean, when someone tells you they're going to kill you, it's not like you can be like fucking brave at that point.
This is what I don't understand about police officers.
Yes.
They say they're scared for their lives, but there's like 6 of y'all. Plus you guys have a gun. Some have tasers. You didn't have a taser. Then y'all have a stick. Then you have handcuffs. Then you have bulletproof vests. Mm-hmm. And this nigga only has a bat. So how can he inflict more harm on one
What are you talking
person?
about, a bat?
Well, I'm just saying, that dude in Walmart, have you heard about that? Who got shot by like more than he should have, and he only had a bat, and this cop had like all that shit. Plus there was more than one of them. So this is what I don't understand about police officers when they say they're scared for their lives. Can you explain that or give your opinion?
As far as being scared for your life, I think regardless of what tools you have on your belt and who you come across, fear is fear, right? I mean, you can be in any situation, and me and you can both be in the same situation, and you can be fearful, and I may have dealt with that situation before, so I'm not as fearful as you are. So that's kind of hard to kind of explain when you're not really in that moment with those emotions and faced with that situation. Like I said, I can only talk about my incident with the knife. When you have a girl with the 2 butcher knives and she says she's going to kill you, what do you do?
So she has a knife, she pulled out the gun, and then what? She put the knives down?
She had 2 knives. She pulled out the gun. We went through the whole steps of verbal judo.
You were by yourself?
No, I was with my other female partner, who's my height. And this lady was much taller than us. And she told us exactly what she was going to do. So yes, absolutely. Was I fearful? Absolutely.
So if she would have came at you with the knife, obviously you probably most likely you would have shot her, right?
Yes.
Now, this goes to my other question. Why do when police shoot, they always shoot to kill instead of just shooting them in the leg to injure the person or something like that?
So, to be honest with you,
and then when they shoot to kill, why the fuck do they shoot like 20 times and instead of just shooting once?
Okay, so to answer that question for you, when you actually go to shoot somebody or stop the threat, there's different circumstances, right? Somebody may turn and you may aim for a certain part of the body and end up hitting them somewhere else, right? Because they're a moving target at that time. For 2, as you know, if you get shot in the leg, people get shot in the leg and don't even go to the hospital. So you can say all day, oh, you should have shot him in the leg. And then what? Sometimes people have to be shot multiple times to actually stop the
Shoot
threat,
them twice,
right? I mean, I don't know how many times, but when drugs are involved, alcohol is involved. You know, some people eat those bullets for lunch, and it's just like, what do you do? How do you stop? How do you stop them, right?
But how do you explain like 5 cops all shooting one person multiple times?
Well, I think that's a different situation as well, right? If the person is coming at one cop, it's all about perception, right? You think that that cop is being attacked, so you may shoot. I'm not really sure. I've never been in a shooting, so it's hard for me to say. But I can only speak to the situations that I've actually been in.
Do you think it's wrong?
To what?
For multiple cops to shoot one person multiple times?
Like I said, I don't know. It has to be, you have to like be in that moment. I don't think everybody's like 1, 2, 3, let's all shoot together. And there's 5 of us and there's only one person. No, I think
that's what happens though.
It does happen. But I think everybody's an individual. Everybody sees different situations as a threat, and to protect themselves or to protect others, they end up all shooting at one time. So.
Okay. Tell me so you are still in the field now? Or are you behind the desk?
I'm behind the desk.
Why did you go behind the desk? You got in trouble?
No, I did not get in trouble. I've never been in trouble. No.
That's what you prefer, to be behind the desk?
Yeah, I applied for a position.
You don't want to be in the field?
I enjoy it. I mean, not at this time. I like doing things different, right? There's always patrol. That's always going to be there. But there's other aspects of the police department that I enjoy working in.
Why do you think, like when you see these police shootings or when you see black people or minorities getting pulled over numerous times for like stupid shit, why does it have to be so many cops? Like one cop pulls you over for just, okay, you forgot to turn on your signal. And then like 6 other cop cars come. Is that something that they all do? Or is that? No,
I think that depends on what city you're in. San Francisco, we don't have that leisure to have 6 cops show up or 6 cop cars show up on one scene or one traffic stop. So it all depends. The person can be known. The person can, may have like a criminal past. It all depends. I don't know.
Did you ever see on the news back in the day when that guy, I'm forgetting his name, but he was in New York and he was selling cigarettes in front of the store, and then the cops murdered him by putting a chokehold on him, which was against the, I guess, police protocol. And then the guy, the I Can't Breathe guy, the whole I Can't Breathe campaign. So they murdered him by putting a chokehold on him, and he was yelling out, "I can't breathe," and no cop, even though he was doing an illegal move that's against the law in New York for police officers to do, he did it and ended up killing this guy. But no cops stood up and said, yeah, what he did was wrong, one thing. Second, he was just selling cigarettes. He had no criminal record. He didn't have any weapons on him. And there was multiple cops jumping on him. and he constantly said I couldn't breathe, and no cop stopped the guy from choking him, saying like, "Yo, stop! Like, you're killing him. He can't breathe." And then after he murdered him, no cop stood up and said, "Yeah, what those other cops did was wrong. They shouldn't have handled that situation like that." So, what was your take on that?
Okay, so I just have a question for you. How do you know nobody stood up to him? Was it because it wasn't in the media and it wasn't public?
There's video of the whole shit.
No, I'm saying after the incident occurred. How do you know nobody came to those cops and had that?
Well, see, that's another thing. When cops do shit publicly, where the public to see, a lot of people say that. You know how when people say "fuck the police," right? Everyone says that, but everyone knows like not all police are bad. Everyone knows this, but what makes people say that is because when bad cops do stuff, the good cops don't speak out and say, "Yeah, that was bad." So they just go along with the bad cops and help them cover the shit up and shit like that. So that's why people say "fuck all police," because even the good cops don't stand up and say, "Yeah, we were wrong," or "they were wrong," blah blah blah. It's like a brother. Oh, it's blue blood. We don't say bad shit on our own.
I think that's false, actually. I think because they don't say anything in the media doesn't mean that it's not being discussed.
Don't you think they should say something in the media? Because, I mean, they are public servants. I mean, we are paying their salaries. So don't you think they should, to have a more trust with community?
I mean, they could if the opportunity presented itself, but we don't always get the chance to speak to the media.
So, I mean, this is your chance, basically.
Say what?
That these situations that I'm talking about, that those cops shouldn't have handled a situation like that.
Absolutely. There's a lot of situations that shouldn't have went down the way they went down, right? I don't care what color your skin is, what gender you are. But I also feel like it's a policy issue, right? If you have these different policies in place and policies aren't adhered to, then you have consequences like this, right? And the end result is unfortunately somebody losing their lives. And that was not a policy that was put in place. Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of situations I've looked at and watched on the media, and I do agree. Yeah, those situations are wrong. But then there's also a lot of situations that have occurred too that people don't understand. Being in that situation and making that split decision in the amount of a couple of seconds is very difficult as well. And we get scrutinized for everything. We can do something good, we get scrutinized. We can do something bad, we get scrutinized. So
tell me something good that the San Francisco Police Department did.
We do a lot
in the last 2 months.
We do a lot of good things. We feed a lot of people. We house a lot of people. We help a lot of people. We talk to a lot of people. We mentor a lot of people. There's a lot of things that don't get shown on the media. I feel like the media always wants to put out the negative versus the positive. So there's a lot of different things that not only does my department do, but departments across the world.
Who's the chief of police of San Francisco?
Bill Scott.
Do you have any problems with him?
No, not at all.
If you did, would you say it on national radio?
Yeah, why not?
I don't know. Which I have a secret code. Do you guys have someone who?
What? Okay.
Do you guys have someone who? I don't know what it's called, but you know how companies have a person who handles all media relations. Like if you can't interview unless you talk to this person first for the company.
No, we don't really have that. No.
Okay. All right.
But why do you think that we have a secret code?
I don't know.
Well, where does it come from? It comes from somewhere.
From fucking history, that's why.
So you think that we all have a secret code?
Yeah, I think there's hidden shit that goes on in the police department that people talk about. Like police officers will talk to other police officers and be like, "Okay, yeah, we're gonna pull," and say shit that they're not supposed to do. Like they'll come up with a plan like, "Okay, we're gonna pull this guy over. I'm gonna fuck with him. I'm gonna plant something on him. Or I'm going to hit him. I'm going to do this and that." You know how police officers are. So it's like a secret code. Okay, you just go with whatever I say, and we're going to lie and be like, "Yo."
And did you get this from a personal experience?
I got a personal experience. When I was young, police officers tried to plant a fucking gun on me and my brother because we were out riding our bikes late at night.
Mm-hmm.
And then he pulled us over, put us on a cop car, went to this field, right? He was like, do you guys have any guns or blah, blah, blah. We were like, no, I already told the story on here a few episodes ago.
Mm-hmm.
And then went into this field, came back with a gun and said, who gun was this? And we were like, we're kids. First of all, we're kids.
Mm-hmm.
And we're all in sweats. Like, we don't have no fucking guns.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, whose gun is this? And we were like, nobody's gun. That shit ain't ours. And then he was like, well, I could take you guys to jail right now. So you're lucky. So go home. But basically, he was just he was fucking with us and trying to scare us and shit. But he knew that it was his own gun that he was just faking like someone, like it was ours. But anyway, the point of that is, if a police officer would do some shit like that, that just tells me he's crooked. Don't you think?
Yeah, you don't do that. That's definitely something that you don't do under any circumstance.
Exactly.
But have you had any positive interactions with police officers?
No.
Not one.
I've never had any positive interactions with police. I always avoid police officers.
So you've never been pulled over and they not give you a ticket?
Oh, of course, I've been pulled over, and I've always gotten. I mean, the only times that I didn't get tickets is because I was fucking legit. So that's the only.
So how does that make you feel?
About what?
I'm taking over your podcast. How does
about police officers?
How does that make you feel when you're pulled over, you're legit, and you've been let go with no ticket? Or
I mean, I feel like that shit's supposed to. That's how it's supposed to go. But there's many minority men who've been pulled over who are legit and end up being murdered. I mean, this shit is all over the news every day, every week, every month.
That's true. That's true. So
a minor traffic stop, even if you're not legit, shouldn't end with you losing your life.
Absolutely. I agree. So, and I've had people lose their lives to the hands of police officers as well. So I agree.
Yeah. So are you going to retire a police officer, you think?
I'm going to definitely retire. I don't know how many years I'm going to do, but I'll definitely
How many years
retire.
do you have to do to retire? 20?
30.
30?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, what are the steps? So, like, if you're a police officer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And let's say you want to move up to like the SWAT team or something.
Mm-hmm.
What's the process of that?
You have to train. You have to apply.
And the same thing for detective and...
It's like inspector, sergeant, you have to just test. SWAT, you have to physically be in shape for that, right? Because you carry a lot of equipment and things like that. Sergeant and above, you always have to test, like a physical test. I mean, not a physical test, a written test, my bad, and then an oral interview.
What is it like being a woman
in the police department?
San Francisco Police Department.
I enjoy it. It's nice.
There's no like sexism, like sexual harassment and shit?
I've never experienced any of that, no. I'm pretty sure there's sexual harassment and
There's
sexism
never been
everywhere.
a white cop come up to you and be like, oh, can I touch your hair? All that shit?
No.
No?
No. You got to remember we're a very diverse city and a diverse department, so.
Do you know any Uncle Toms in your police department? No. You don't know no niggas who drive around and be like, look at these niggas over here.
No.
No?
Don't ask me stuff like that. What the hell? No.
Is there any women that you don't like, that you don't get along with?
No.
You get along with everyone that works with you?
There's a lot of us, so I don't know everybody, but yeah, pretty much we all get along.
Is there like a bar that all the police officers go to and hang out?
No, that was back in the day, I'm sure. Before my time, before I was born, there were
so none of y'all hang out after work and be like, oh, let's go to the club.
I don't.
No?
I don't. I have very few cop friends that I hang out with outside of work. I'm my own individual.
All of your friends are like motherfuckers you grew up with and shit?
Yeah.
Do they ever ask you for like favors? Like, girl, can you get rid of this traffic ticket I got? No?
I think people know me as a person and they know that I'm not going to do that because I could jeopardize my job. So,
would you do it for your child?
No.
You'd just be like, oh, you just got to go to jail.
What do you mean what do you mean go to jail?
Damn,
how did it get to that extreme?
You won't even help your own blood to not go to jail?
No.
Okay.
That's going to put everybody in jeopardy. Really? You can't do that.
It's your damn son. That's what.
It's my daughter, first
your
of
daughter.
all.
Okay.
No. But I raise her right, so she doesn't do crazy stuff.
How old is your daughter?
19.
What does she do?
She goes SF State.
What does she study?
That's a good question. I think she's in between majors. I wish I had that answer for you.
Do y'all talk?
Absolutely. We're close.
Does she live on campus?
No.
When school was in, was she living on campus?
No.
She lived with you?
Yes.
What would you say if she told you she wanted to be a cop?
It would be a interesting conversation.
Would you say go ahead, or you'd be like, girl, this ain't for you? I
would support her in anything that she wanted to do, but I would definitely have a conversation with her regarding, that profession.
What would you say?
I would let her know
Tell all the bad shit that goes on.
I would let her know that things are constantly evolving, and make sure that it's something that she really wants to do.
Okay. Let me see.
What else you want to ask me?
I mean, a whole lot of shit, but you probably ain't going to answer this shit. So, tell me something about, like, what are some perks about being a police officer? You guys get paid twice a month?
Yes, we get paid twice a month.
How much does SFPD pay starting off?
I believe they start off now at $89,000 annually.
Okay.
And then if you retire with 30 years and you have the age, then it's 90% of your salary at the time of retirement.
Are they hiring now?
Yes, absolutely.
Are they in like dire need of people?
Yes.
Why do you think that is?
I think just because of all the people that came in 25, 30 years ago, now they're all retiring. And then other people are now starting to choose other professions, right? People are going into the tech world and different things like that, entrepreneurships.
If police officers, if there's such a dire need for police officers, why do they make it so hard to become a goddamn police officer? Why don't they just, first of all, get rid of that written test?
That's true.
And
I
just
agree.
Do the physical test, because I look at cops and all them niggas is fat, dumb as fuck. So they need to get rid of that written test off the top.
Well, I think the written test serves a major purpose when you're trying to choose quality over quantity, right? And I think the physical part is very important as well,
I
right?
think that's more important.
The physical?
Yeah, it's instead of the test, because I mean,
go ahead.
First of all, the test, I mean, I don't know what's on the test, but I'm assuming that test, all those questions, they don't got shit to do with learning, driving around, being in the community and learning how to interact with people.
No, you're absolutely right.
So I think that's way more important than a fucking, what is it, math on the test? What's on the test?
No, it's like comprehension reading, because, at the end of the day, we have to write reports, right? We have to be able to articulate what happened, how it happened in every police report. So I believe that's why we actually have the written test. And that's why the written test is important. You don't want to have somebody that's physically fit. You put them through the academy and they can't write a proper report.
Get rid of them goddamn reports.
Then how are you going to tell the story?
Like a voice memo. Say it on the, I don't know, record it on a voice memo. And then them body cameras, that tells the story.
The body cameras do tell a story.
Yeah, but
which I think is good.
Y'all only turn it on after the fact. Y'all turn the body camera on after you shoot somebody.
No, we're supposed to turn the body camera on every time we encounter someone.
Yeah, you're supposed to, but you know how Officer Craig is.
Who's that?
I don't know.
See, now you're making stuff up.
So, the police force, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think San Francisco Police Department has a good reputation? Because New York Police Department, crooked as fuck. L.A. Police Department, crooked as fuck. Chicago, crooked as fuck. The San Francisco Police Department get that same rep? Do you think?
I would hope not, but I'm pretty sure it's based off every individual's opinion, right? And what they've experienced when they come to the city.
Well, I know OPD is crooked as fuck, and they get a bad rap. But everything that I hear from SFPD, they're crooked too. But they're way more lenient than OPD. That's what I hear.
Oh, really?
Because, SF is way more crazier as far as people-wise.
Mm-hmm.
You see more crazier shit, so, in SF than you do in Oakland. So that's probably why they're more lenient. That's what I hear.
Mm.
Like, a police officer is not going to stop. There's less chance of a police officer stopping you in San Francisco if you're, like, smoking weed on the street or, like, drinking on the street.
Mm-hmm.
Then in Oakland, they'll probably stop you because, first of all, there's more black people in Oakland. That's one. And San Francisco is just more wild. It's just more lenient to shit like that. Like niggas walking around naked on the streets in San Francisco. You can't do that in Oakland.
You actually can walk around naked wherever.
No, you can't. You'll get arrested for decent exposure. Because I tried. I had my dick out. I had my dick out one time and it's like 6 cops came up on me.
No, that's urinating in public. That's the difference. Those are 2 different things right there. But.
Okay. Have you ever got arrested?
No.
You ever got pulled over while you were a cop and they didn't know it?
Yes, absolutely. All the time.
And then what happened? You just flash your badge and be like, yo, let me go. And they're like, all right.
No, some of them were nice enough to, give me like a pass. Like,
what were you getting pulled over for?
When I talk on my cell phone or, speeding.
So when someone pulls you over and they look you up, it will automatically say, oh, this woman's a cop?
No, not at all.
It won't say that in your history? Or That's weird.
It doesn't say that.
Why wouldn't it?
I don't think they have that ability to list everybody that's a cop on the system, like the DMV system. No. I'm
talking about like they look up your personal, they put your name in, right? The system?
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't say you're a police officer?
No. It's a worldwide database, so it won't, there's no way that you can say like, oh, this person's a police officer.
So what do? You just, when they say, give me your ID, you give them that one with the badge connected to it?
No, I give them my California driver's license.
Okay.
We don't get any passes. I don't know why people feel like we get passes.
Do you carry a gun home with you?
Depending on the circumstance, yes.
You have a gun doing desk work?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because I can have to, excuse me, I can go out at any time, so I definitely need a gun.
So you can carry your gun whenever you want?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have to carry your badge with the gun?
Yes.
So if you take your gun one time and forget your badge, you'll get in trouble?
I wouldn't say you'll get in trouble, but you're supposed to have both of them together.
Okay. What did your dad do? Was he just a regular cop?
He was like a station cop, so he manned the station.
Okay. Is the cops that came into your graduated with you, are they all still police officers?
Pretty much. I think there's been a couple that have gone their separate ways, but
got fired?
No, not fired. Personal choice just to leave and go do something different. Like I stated before, this isn't a desired job like it used to be. People wanted to be like doctors, police officers, firefighters, and things like that back in the day. And with other opportunities out there, a lot of people don't stay or they don't apply. So,
do you think more people will be? Do you think more people would be police officers if they made it more easier?
I think so. And I think also if there was a lot more positivity shown regarding the job, I think a lot of people would apply.
Is the chief of police, is he black or white?
He's black.
He's black?
Mm-hmm.
He's not Uncle Tom?
No.
No? Where is he from?
Another state. I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
Of course. So is it true that it's not good to be a police officer in a city that you grew up in? Because you got people that know you and might want to fuck with you. Is that true?
No. I think that's a personal preference. I know there are people that grew up in Oakland that come over to San Francisco to be police officers and vice versa. I think it all depends on the individual, if they want to actually work in the city that they grew up in.
Did you want to work in obviously you did, right?
Yeah, I actually applied for Oakland and San Francisco, and Oakland didn't work out, and San Francisco worked out.
Why didn't Oakland work out?
I couldn't pass the written test.
You couldn't?
No.
Different shit?
It was different, yeah.
Why is it different?
I don't know.
Police, wherever you go?
Different departments offer different tests. So
Was Oakland harder?
Oakland was harder, yes.
Okay.
But I look at it like it just wasn't meant for me to be in Oakland. So
nice. So you well, let me think of something. What do you want to say about San Francisco Police Department?
I can tell you the various positions that I've had. I was on patrol for many years in the Tenderloin. Not for many years in the Tenderloin. I trained Tenderloin? I trained in the Tenderloin. Then I went to Northern Station, which is at Fillmore and Turk. And I was in the school resource program where I mentored and guided the youth of San Francisco for about 6 years. Then I went to the recruitment unit where I was a recruiter for the department. That was about for 4 years. And then the last year I've been helping on the DOJ reform.
The DOJ, explain that.
That's the Department of Officers Justice or something for justice. I can't even tell you.
Department of Justice?
Department of Justice.
What the fuck are you doing for now?
We're reforming the department.
What do you mean reforming? Trying to get more minorities in?
Trying to change it as a whole.
Well, shit. You got to burn it down and then build from the ground up to change it.
Not necessarily. We got to work.
I guarantee all these white cops out here, you go to their house, look in their closet, they got KKK outfits in them motherfuckers.
Now that is not true.
That's definitely true.
That's being very stereotypical.
A shit ton of white cops are secret KKK members, secret fucking Nazis. That's for sure.
That is not true. Where's the proof of that at?
History.
History?
Yeah.
You don't think that there's change?
Fuck no. You know why? I believe a police it just transitioned from wearing the KKK outfit. It transitioned to taking that off and replacing it with a police officer's uniform. That's how I feel. I mean, it might be different with black cops. Black cops come in and be like, okay, I'm going to be a black cop. I'm not going to fucking, I'm going to expose all these racist police officers. But then when they get in, they don't think like that. It changes their mind because being in a police officer, you have all these, you might go in with like good thoughts. I'm going to expose these motherfuckers. And then the community hates you. And then you're like, oh, if you guys hate me, then fuck you then. So then you start riding with the bad cops and having their back instead of doing the shit that you said you were going to initially go in there for. So it corrupts your mind. You got to be in tune with the streets in order to keep your mind on the path that it was when you first went in. You understand?
That's a great opinion.
So that's why I think that's why when you see all these black cops, there's been many videos of like police doing bad shit, beating up people that are unarmed, and then the black cop is just sitting there. Like, how come you ain't stopping all these white cops beating this black dude up to the point where he's unconscious? And there's been times where videos where dude is handcuffed and you're still beating him up. Like, come on now. And the black cop is just standing there. How come you ain't speaking up? Being a police officer, putting on that uniform corrupted his mind. He doesn't understand that these white cops are beating this black guy up unnecessarily. And you being a black person, you're supposed to stand up for us. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I feel.
Interesting.
And there's a lot, if you go back and read, there's an article of, there was this guy who was, he tapped into the police system or something. I don't know. But he found out that there was a shit ton of cops that were fucking in the KKK in the South. And he exposed them all. I don't know if you know that story, but it came out like a couple years ago. And he put it on a list. There was judges, there was fucking people in City Hall. There's basically people who are there to make rules that affect everyone, not just minorities. And they found out these people that are supposed to protect the communities are fucking Nazis and KKK members and shit like that.
Okay. That's hey, I don't take anybody's opinion away from them.
It's a lot of. That's why I think you want a desk job.
Because what?
Because you know these motherfuckers are out there doing shit they ain't supposed to do, and you don't want to put yourself in the position to
Is that's your opinion as well?
You don't want to put yourself in the position because you know. So you want to stay in the cut. You want to be like, okay, I don't even want to be around you motherfuckers. Just put me on this desk. That's not true?
No, that's not true. Where did that even come from?
I just get the vibe.
You get that? That's the vibe you get?
Because
Okay.
you can easily. Why did you stop being why the Tenderloin? Why'd you stop doing that?
That was my training station, so I had to leave that station. You only stay there for 4 months.
So what was it like working there?
It was good. It was fun. I was exposed to a part of the city that I never knew about.
You never knew about the Tenderloin before you started working there? Did you grow up in San Francisco?
I did, but I was never allowed to go down there.
Did you hear stories and shit?
Not really.
Drug infested like craziness?
Not really until I was actually training down there when I was exposed to everything.
So what was it like a typical night working at Tenderloin? Or did you work nights or days?
I kind of rotated. So I worked days and I worked nights.
Which one was crazier?
I would say days. There's a lot more people out, right? You have the people that actually live there that are out. You have the people that are commuting through the Tenderloin that are out. You have the tourists that are out. So it was a lot more people.
So what's a typical? Explain a typical day from like when you wake up. Like what do? You wake up. Do you go in with your uniform or do you put it on when you get there?
No, I put it on when I get there.
Okay, you go there. You strap up. You meet with your partner. Do you guys have a meeting? Be like, okay, well, does your boss like have a meeting with you guys before you go out to the field?
We usually have like a lineup. Yes.
And what does that entail?
Just anything that went on like the night before or the day before.
Does he tell you like, okay, we all listen, it's the 15th and we got to write more tickets this month?
No.
They don't say no shit like that?
No, we don't have a quota. I don't know why people think we have a quota. We don't have a quota.
So you guys meet, blah, blah, blah. Then you go out to the field.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just drive around, just waiting for shit to happen?
Mm-hmm. Waiting for people to call.
Do you have to drive around? Or can you like park somewhere and be like, yo, I'm chilling right here?
You can park, you can walk, you can ride a bike.
So if nothing happens, you just basically just drive around for 8 hours? How long is your shift?
10 hours.
10 hours?
Mm-hmm.
What are some calls that come in?
It could be anything. Like literally anything. Like vandalism, robberies, homeless people on the street, iPhone thefts. I mean, it can be.
Have you ever responded to like a
burglary.
domestic violence
Yes.
and went there and the girl was like all fucked up?
Yes.
Have you ever responded to something where it affected you so much you were like, I want to find this motherfucker and beat his ass?
No.
No? Have you ever responded to a murder and like saw a dead body on the ground?
Yes.
Have you ever saw a dead child?
No.
No? Have you ever caught anybody like fucking in the alley?
No.
No?
No. Do people do that?
Hell yeah, they do it. Shit, I do it.
What?
I'm just joking. What about that cop that was
Here you go.
I know you heard about those cops in San Francisco who were having sex with that young girl. She was like a prostitute. Remember that whole scandal that happened in San Francisco?
I believe that was in Oakland.
It was in Oakland?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Did you know any of them niggas?
No.
Yeah. All right. So you
You're too much.
all right, I guess you got grilled enough. But the point of this conversation is, I don't know, what would you tell someone to change their mind, their insight on police? Like, what would you say?
I would say definitely take the time to have a conversation and a real conversation with somebody that suits up every day in uniform.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's important. I think a lot of people either go off one bad experience that they've experienced, or they actually go off somebody else's story. The he say, she say type of thing. And I think if you really sit down and talk to us, like, we're human, we go through the same things that other people go through. When I take my uniform off, when I'm not in a police car, I'm still a Black African-American female, right? That is judged every day, that's looked at a certain way. When I go on shopping in Victoria's Secret, you know, I get the same looks as if I'm going to steal or do something different. So at the end of the day, when I take the uniform off, I'm no different than anybody else that's walking around that's a Black female. So that's my suggestion, is sit down one-on-one with somebody that actually does the profession and have an honest conversation and ask those hard questions and get those real answers. And I think it'll change a lot of people's perspective.
All right. Well, you heard it first. You want to say, you can't say your last name on here, huh?
No, but they can also follow me if they want to see my journey. Can I say that?
How would they follow you? On Instagram?
Instagram, Officer Gayla. It's there. It's
Officer Gayla?
Yes, Gayla.
You want to spell that? It's just spelled Officer Gayla?
Officer Gayla.
Okay. What type of pictures do you post? Would you get in trouble if you posted like a video you like twerking and shit?
Absolutely.
You'll get in trouble for that? Why?
Yeah, that's just something
it's your personal life.
You don't do. I don't do that. I don't partake in that.
So you can't have no pictures of you in like a bikini or nothing?
No, why would I do that?
If you're at the beach, you ain't gonna take no picture and post it on Instagram?
No. So don't look for it. It's not there.
That's crazy. All right, well, follow her on Officer Gayla. Yeah, she works for the San Francisco Police Department. I mean, I hope this changed your mind about police. If it didn't, that's good too. But one thing's for sure, Gayla is a rare, real one. I'm gonna see if she can sign off on this speeding ticket that I got a couple of days ago. Hopefully she does. But yeah, Gayla, thank you for coming on Everyday Celebrity. Very brave for you to come on and speak for all. I mean, I know you don't speak for all police, but I mean, basically that's what the fuck you are doing. That's the reason you're on. But yeah, thanks for coming on. Any last words?
No, thank you for having me.
All right. Are you going to sign off on this ticket?
No, I cannot sign off on any tickets.
All right. Everyday Celebrity. I'm out. You.